Now listen, I want you to follow me, right? Roman Gonzalez is now a champion in 2 different divisions. Let's mute this. He's the champion in at 115 pounds and 15, and he's a champion at 112 pounds. He is recognized by what is called the mainstream media as the pound-for-pound best boxer in the world. And this is the first card in the United States that he has headlined on his own. But however, it involves the Golovkin versus Brook replay. So he's been getting a lot of exposure here in the United States with the help of Golovkin and K2. But it's hard because you really have to do deep research on the smaller weight divisions, and the smaller weight divisions in the United States are mostly not televised. So it's hard to really do research on him unless you go to YouTube and watch his fights. Now, me being an American, I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak fucking Mandarin. I don't speak Chinese, Japanese. But usually those are the fighters who fights at those lower weight divisions. Now, Carlos Cuadras has been known to be a pressure fighter, power puncher. He's got that fucked up acne shit that's going on. And in this day and age, let me clarify this. There are a lot of people that's saying, oh, well, you know, you can get acne by so many different ways. For example, when I used to hoop every day, this was back in the 2000s, you know, and in the late 90s. If you didn't immediately, like, okay, if you hooped in a t-shirt, right? Your t-shirt is soaking wet. So if you don't go immediately take a shower, which I was known not to do at those times, your back will start to break out. But that shit he got going on, that's an outbreak. I'm not saying anything, and I understand this is a WBC fight, and WBC fighters, whether you're a champion or you're fighting for the WBC title, you have to take VADA testing. VADA testing is the most stringent drug testing organization that there is. And I am not even going to get involved with who his strength and conditioning coach is. We're not even going to go down that route. That's a whole fucking different can of worms. But the thing is, when you're watching these lower weight fights, it's hard because they really haven't been getting too much exposure here in the United States. Now, Roman Gonzalez just won a title in another division. Look at his face. His face is all fucking swole up. He won unanimous decision in a fight where he's a very accurate fight. Okay, he's a very accurate puncher. For example, if he throws a left hook to the body, then it's going to land on the left side of the body, or the right side of your body. When he throws a straight, it's going to land. You know, so he's a guy who, when it comes to punch percentage, he lands around 40% of his punches. You know, he's going to lay some hands on you. But it's hard because for American fans, right? Me being an American, it's hard to watch these fights. But let me let the play in the background. This is live, by the way, real time, live.
Ended at a higher percentage, but what's interesting is the percentage was marginally higher. Usually it's significantly higher than his opponent, but when you throw almost 100 punches more and you land more, I think the decision was right. 5 rounds, 7 rounds to 5, 8 rounds to 4, 9 rounds to 3, somewhere in that range for Chocolatito. And there you see power punches. He threw a whole lot more of those. Percentage was virtually even, but he threw so many more that he had a significant margin of victory there. Look at the punch zone. See where some of these shots landed. Cuadras got work done to the body on Chocolatito. Chocolatito got work done to the body on Cuadras. The percentage of their punches, each man going upstairs and downstairs, was similar. Where there's an edge, it goes to Chocolatito. And he won the fight. Roy, some thoughts on what you just saw?
Man, what a fight. I mean, I can't think of the last time that this division had so many talented fighters. And I don't think we've ever really seen this many talented fighters broadcasted at this division. But I must say, tonight, that was one of the best boxing matches that I've seen in a long time between two guys who both deserve to be champions. Both will be back. Both are going to go on to be great champions. Man, I mean, I can't say enough about it.
To say nothing of Naoya Inoue, the Japanese phenom who won a belt in his 6th pro fight, who's undefeated, most by knockout, a tremendous fighter of his own.
Listen to this.
Ready for a super fight in the lightest divisions with Chocolatito, but Cuadras is a player in that whole scenario now as well. And now here we are joined by the great Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Tell us about that fight.
Bueno, fue una gran pelea. Gracias a Dios, pues, todo salió muy bien.
It was a great fight, and thank God everything went very well.
I hate this fucking
Era muy
translator.
difícil,
It was a very difficult fight.
complicada, sabía que venía en la mejor condición.
It was complicated. Que él venía en mejor buena condición, como tú. And we know that we both came in very good condition.
Chocolatito, was that the toughest of your career?
Esta es la pelea más difícil que ha tenido.
This is the most difficult fight I've had.
More than Estrada?
Así es.
Yes, sir.
Was it because he was a bigger fighter, naturally, than some of the fighters you've been fighting?
Bueno, nunca he peleado en este peso, pero bueno, lo importante es que ganamos la pelea.
You know, I've never fought at this weight, but the important thing is that we won the fight.
Going into the 11th round, I think it was, I saw a look on your face of, I don't know how to put it, but of weariness, of not panic, but knowing that this was really a huge task that I've never seen before. Am I reading into that, or is that in fact how you felt late in the fight?
Me sentí un poco afligido porque estaba cortado del codo.
I felt a bit affected because I was hit on my cheek.
Pero gracias a Dios, la esquina me
I
mandó
hate this translator.
y me dijo que no tenía nada.
But thankfully, the corner sent me back out and told me I had nothing on my cheek.
Siempre pensaba en mi familia y mis hijos.
You know, I'm always thinking about my family and my children.
Y gracias a eso me dio la fortaleza para seguir adelante.
And thanks to them, it gave me the courage and the strength to move on.
Did he hurt you at all in this fight, particularly to the body? There was a moment toward the end of one of those rounds where we thought he hurt you to the body.
No, en ningún momento, pero sí, alguna mano le sentí arriba de la cabeza,
But you know, I did catch some blows up to the head. Yes, I
en los pomos.
to the cheeks.
Okay. Naoya Inoue was ringside tonight, watching the proceedings. Everyone in boxing who follows the small weight divisions thinks that that is an absolute super fight. What do you think about fighting Inoue?
Con mucho gusto, sería una bendición pelear con él.
With pleasure. It will be a God's blessing.
He's the WBO champion. He was just defending his title. What was that,
There are
yesterday?
many more weight divisions now than there used to be, and there are many more belts. So it's a little bit apples to oranges. However, you tonight have won a belt in your 4th weight division, the first Nicaraguan fighter to do it. The great Alexis Arguello, your mentor, never did it. How do you feel tonight about that accomplishment, passing the great Alexis Arguello?
Bueno, superarlo jamás, él siempre va a estar como número uno.
You know, I never be better than him or above him. He would always be number one.
Él es mi maestro,
He's my teacher,
yo soy su hijo,
and I am his son.
que estoy siguiendo su legado.
And I'm simply following his legacy.
Esta victoria es del pueblo de Nicaragua,
This victory is for the public of Nicaragua,
de mi familia,
for my family,
principalmente de Dios.
and foremost God.
Dios es el que da la victoria.
God is the one who gives
La
the victory,
fortaleza.
the strength.
Y todos los que están aquí,
And everyone that is here,
lo que queramos en la vida, pidamos
He was
solo
some
a Dios.
emotional shit right now.
that you want in life, and you need in life, you ask
Porque,
God.
porque solo Dios da la bendición
Because only God can give you the
y
blessing.
la fortaleza. Estoy aquí
And
por
the
Dios,
strength. I am here because of
no
God.
por nadie. Gracias, Taken,
Thank you, Taken.
señor Honda,
And Mr. Honda,
HBO,
and HBO.
a toda mi familia, a Nicaragua.
Okay, thank you, Chocolatito.
Come on, Max.
For
That's
another
disrespectful.
outstanding performance.
We're gonna cut him off like that. I guess that's it.
Okay, that wraps up the proceedings here.
Like I said, listen, Roman Gonzalez is good, but in order to determine how good he is, let me tell you how fucking rough my job is, right? That means that for those of you who don't know, I have no other job. In fact, truth be told, I'm not really making any money off of YouTube. But for the future, I'm building a fan base, you know, and a following for the people who've supported me. Please understand, like, there's a vision, there's a plan. But I got to, definitely before his next fight, since he's fighting about 3 times a year, I gotta watch and find, and most of them, majority of them are not going to be in English. So therefore, the commentary is not going to influence me. I'm going to have to watch Rex So fights. I'm going to have to watch Kuhei Kono fights. Norberto Ramirez fights. Fucking Zolani T. Also a couple of his fights. Sho Ishida. Then at 112, you know, if he goes back down there, I got to watch Thomas Masson fights. You know, fucking Gregorio LeBron fights. You know, fucking Kevin Rada fights. Kevin Satchel fights. You know? So, you know, this shit is not easy, man. As I tell people sometimes, like, the videos are the easy part. It's all that other shit I gotta do behind the scenes. Because I've been researching for the last several months now on why Chocolatito Gonzalez is rated as the #1 pound-for-pound guy when he's just headlining his own card in the United States. But it's because he is now 4-division champion, and you have to count that in. And for American fans who don't have the luxury of seeing those lower weight division fights live, you have to, you know, I gotta watch all that shit. I gotta watch all that shit. That shit is, this is not an easy job, yo. You know, sometimes I'm sitting here doing shit behind the scenes, and I always gotta be, I gotta have a fight on in the background. There's always gotta be a fight on in the background. But now I gotta watch Canelo versus Road to Canelo versus Smith. That fight between Cuadras was a very, very close fight. I had Roman Gonzalez winning, but it's a fight that I have to go back and watch again. Just like I had to watch Golovkin versus Brook again. And now I have to do a whole different video on that outside of the one that's uploaded, because they're going to talk about how his fucking eye socket is broken and how Dominic Ingle did the right thing by throwing in the towel. This boxing shit is not easy, man. You know, because it's like, I be wanting to watch other shit, but I be thinking like, well, if you're going to be working and you want to watch other shit that have a fight on in the background, I don't watch TV anymore. It's just nothing but fucking fights. Fucking CM Punk got choked out. But I'm gonna calm down. I haven't been sleeping, you know, so I've had 4 hours of sleep in like the last 39. No, 44. 44 hours, if my math is correct. So out of the last 48, I only slept 4. So y'all gotta bear with me, man. Y'all gotta bear with me, man. Stop giving me so much shit. I'm a regular person just like you. I do videos, but I'm a regular person. T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. The links to my social media are right down below in the description box. I am going to be uploading highlights to the Gonzalez versus Cuadras fight within the next 8-9 hours. You know, I gotta do another video after this, and then a live stream. So I gotta get my shit together. Please subscribe. Thank you for all your support. I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live.